Alright, so I'm going to be showing you how to open up this 16-inch M1 MacBook Pro. This is a 2021 model A2485. Alright, so first thing we're going to be using is a P5 or Pentalobe 1.2 screwdriver. We're going to undo the 8 screws on the bottom. There's 4 here and 4 here. Okay, I don't think you can really upgrade or change anything on this model. Keep the screws in order because they are different size, shape, and length. So I put them flat side down like that on my desk in the power and I remove them. Alright, there's not really going to be much to do in here. The USB-C ports, the customer said that a banana got smushed into it. So I don't know, we'll see if we can get it working by cleaning it. But chances are, because they turned it on and plugged in a USB-C device, it probably fried the pins. But we'll see. Alright, and hopefully we can get this working. Alright, if this video helps you out, please make sure to like, subscribe, comment, share my channel with others so that they can learn how to upgrade and repair their device as well. And if it helps you save a bunch of money, please consider contributing a little to the channel. Every little bit helps and allows me to continue making these videos for a living. Alright, the screws at the front here where the MacBook opens are shorter than the ones at the back here. And yeah, I think the rest, like these 4 are look to be about the same, and these 4 look to be about the same. Alright, so this is my first time actually opening this one, so let's see. Usually the way it's designed is you lift from the part where the MacBook opens, but we're lifting the bottom cover up. It would help if you have like a suction cup to pull on this, but if you don't, you can basically lift from the air vent here, and then once you form a gap, you can kind of get in there. Okay, and what I'll do is I'll work my way down the side here, okay, lifting this cover up, okay, and we'll basically pull up on this spot here, just like that. We'll go down to the other side, same thing, so get over here, work your way down. We're pushing down where the air vent is and pulling up just the cover part that we're lifting here. Oops. Just like that. Okay, there's also clips in the middle, as you saw from lifting the 2 sides, and then here now it unclipped. After you've done that, you can see here we have an opening here. What you're gonna do is you get your fingers in, grab that. I'm gonna push down here with my index finger, and I'm gonna grab and pull this down. Be careful, you don't want to cut your fingers on the sharp edge of the air vent over here. So my fingernails kind of rest against that. We're going to pull down and push with our index finger, and there we go. We're going to do the same thing on the other side and pull it down, and there we go. And now we have access to the inside. That's what that looks like. I'm going to just brush off the little bits of dust here. Okay, brush off the dust here as well. Alright, this is what the little clip mechanisms look like that hold it in place that we're popping out. These 2, and then this one. So these 2 kind of grip this little round, these little round ball things there. Okay, so let's take a look inside. The USB-C ports are what got damaged. I'm not 100% sure if we can just swap these out. It looks like they're removable, but a lot of times Apple likes to hard code some software in there that makes them not work. We're going to switch over. I believe these are either T4 or T5s, possibly T3s. So let's try the T4 first. You always want to start bigger and then go smaller if necessary. Okay, so we are going to go to the T3 or Torx 3, and we're going to undo these screws here. And I'm actually not even disconnecting the battery. I believe I have a video where I show how to do that. This one has the touchpad trackpad cable here, 2 screws, you pop that up, and then under here there's a metal flap that goes down with a T5 or Torx 5 screw holding it in place. Okay, and then once you get that out, it's very similar to like the older models. So we're going to get these 3 screws out, okay. And hopefully he didn't fry the controller from this. Alright, so we got those 3. We can go ahead and lift this metal plate out of the way. It has these foam pads on there. We're going to set that aside. Okay, and you have 2 connectors here, one for each side. And since both are dead, I have a feeling he fried the controller, not just the thing here. But let's go ahead and switch over to a T5 or Torx 5. There are 4 screws down here. I don't know if we'll be able to take this out without taking the entire logic board out. Most likely we're gonna have to take the whole logic board out, but let's see. Yeah, it's hitting the logic board here. So I don't think we can just undo this. It's gonna end up damaging the logic board. Let's see if I can undo some screws and then lift this out. So we'll try undoing the screw here, holding the hinge down. Or not the hinge, the heatsink. You can see now we can kind of lift and wiggle that. Again, keep all these screws in order. You don't want to mix them up. All right, there's another one here. All right. And you can see now we can kind of lift this board a little bit. Okay, so since we can now lift this board a little bit, let's see if we can get these screws out here. Okay, there's one screw here. We're gonna lift this up and see if we can get this screw out enough that we can work on it. Okay, that's going to be a little tricky because there's the magnet in the MagSafe connector here that's trying to steal the screws, so I'm going to have to use some tweezers to grab it out. Okay. And let's see. We'll try and do just one side to see if we can fix that. Okay. Again, it's going to be tricky because we can only lift the logic board part so far unless we take the whole thing out. There we go, we got the second screw. And can we pull this out? You can see we can pull this back, but I don't think we can pull the whole thing out without complete disassembly. Let's see. We're going to kind of roll this back and see if we can get this to slide under. Maybe we need to remove a few more screws to lift this even higher. What else is holding the logic board down? Do we have some other screws here holding it? Maybe this? I don't think that's holding the whole logic board down, is it? Maybe. Okay, let's try removing that. We'll switch back to the T3 or Torx 3 and see. Or actually, it's probably this. I guess we have to remove both. We'll remove this screw here. And this guy. Okay, I guess that's also T3 or Torx 3. So we'll remove those two. Get that out of the way. And there's a big bolt under there. We're gonna have to take that out as well. Let's see, is that a 4? Yep. So that's one of these, hex, whatever this is, a 4. I'm going to take that screw out as well. Wow, that screw comes up pretty far. Okay, take that out, and let's see, can we now lift this? Can lift it quite a bit. Can we lift the whole thing? Yes, we can. Okay, so we can now kind of lift the whole logic board a little bit up. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to try and push this in further back. There we go. And hopefully we can maneuver it in a way that we can get this out. So get that further in. And I'm trying to do this in a way that I can get the whole thing out without having to pull the whole logic board out, but we might end up having to. Let's see. Can we somehow rotate this in a way to get it out? No, we might have to lift this even higher. Yeah, I don't know about that. So I can see this piece here. Can I somehow pull this up while keeping this back? Come on, stay in there. I think there's not enough room. I think we do have to pull a lot more of these screws and everything out. So I guess let's go ahead and disconnect the battery here. Gonna have to do it the hard way. Switch back over to the T5 Torx 5 screwdriver, I believe. Actually, T3. Okay, and we'll remove the 2 screws holding this in place. I was hoping to avoid having to take all of this out, but it looks like it's what has to happen. We'll take this metal plate off, we'll pop this touchpad thing up. I just used my fingernail. You can use plastic pry tools. We'll peel this back slightly here, and here you can see the battery connector here. Okay, so we'll have to peel this up, flip this little latch. There's a tiny flip latch there. If you're not sure what's going on, you can watch a few of my other videos and you can see what's going on. I show a little bit better of a close-up of that. And then I think actually does this use a T5? I think they go back to using like one of the, oh no, okay, it is T5. So I'll switch back over to the T5 or Torx 5 screwdriver, and we'll undo this battery screw here. Make sure you don't damage this little cable. Okay, after you undo that screw, you can pull this tab up slightly here so that it stays disconnected from the board below. We're going to carefully open up the MacBook, and then we're going to press and hold the power button for at least 15 seconds to drain any residual power. Alright, this makes it a lot safer to work on, and yeah, just do it. It takes 15 seconds. I'll even say that you should hold it for even longer. Okay, so we'll hold it extra time. Alright. Close this up. Alright, so there we go. We got all of that. Next, let's see. We're going to have to disconnect some stuff here. Let's go ahead and disconnect this cable, and we're probably going to also have to undo this one. So we're going to peel this stuff back here. Okay, peel that back. We're going to flip that latch there. I just used my fingernail again. Flip that, and let's pull this cable out. You might have to wiggle and pull up slightly. There we go. Then we're going to get this one out as well. I think we have to switch back to the T3, Torx 3. It's a lot of screws, so hopefully you guys are able to keep track of all of this. Okay. Again, put it in the pattern that you remove it to make it easier to keep track of. There we go. We'll take that metal plate out, set that aside. Then we'll carefully flip this latch, or flip that clip to disconnect it. Right. Let's see here. What else do we need to remove? Do we really need to remove all this? Let's go ahead and just to be safe, we'll remove this as well. Okay. Once you remove those screws, same thing. Take the metal plate off, and then flip that little connector out of the way. Get these 2 screws out as well. Alright, remove the metal plate here. We'll flip this latch up. Alright, let's see, how far can we lift this now? Still not a crazy amount, but quite a bit more. It is getting caught by this here, so let's see about taking this. Switch to the T5, Torx 5, and we'll take out this screw here, and this screw here. It's a lot of screws. Hopefully I can remember where all of them came from. Let's see, that's that, okay. Let's see how far we can lift this, and that didn't really change it, because this is actually hitting here, so we have to pull this out to the side here, then we can lift it slightly higher. Now we can lift this up more, and can we now take this out? Oops, not that one, this one. No, not quite. Okay, let's see if we can get in there and pull this up. Let me see, I'm going to use needle nose pliers instead of tweezers because they get a firmer grip. Let's see, I have that lifted. Flip that. Yeah, it's like not quite, it's just barely to where there's not enough room, which sucks. Who designed it this way? It's like they give you a little glimmer of hope that you'll be able to do it, but then they're like, just kidding. You can see we can drop that all the way in there, but can we get it out? Okay, maybe I can if I can reach this little screw mount. And I can flick this out. There we go. Okay, we got one of them. And let's see here, what do we have? Oh, there's all that smushed banana in there. And you can see what the pins look like there. They actually don't look crazy bad. Let me try and clean it up using some distilled water and then some isopropyl alcohol. So I'm just gonna get a piece of paper towel, pour some distilled water on it, and we're gonna try and clean this up. But I have a feeling that he already burnt out the controller, so I don't think this is going to work, but we'll find out. Clean that off. Oh, sorry. Just using paper towel and distilled water. Try and scrub the pins to get any burnt corrosion stuff off of them. Okay. Also clean towards the back because the banana's stuck all the way over there. Let me actually move this out of the way and we'll just be focusing on this tiny piece here. And again, we're just going to try and clean that off. Okay, let's get a little more distilled water. Try and clean this some more. Okay. You can see this pin is still kind of black. I think it's burnt, so I don't think it's gonna work here, but let's see. We'll try and clean it up a bit more. Not too bad. Maybe it will work. We'll see. All right, so there's that. Clean it off with a little isopropyl rubbing alcohol, though that's more just to dry it than anything. Okay. Okay, so cleaned that the best we could. If they burnt out the controller, then there's not really anything we can do there. I'm not able to repair or replace those pieces. Okay, let's try pulling the other one out. Again, that's using a T5 or Torx 5. Okay, so 2 more screws here. Oops, sorry, I'm going out of view of the camera. I'm pulling this board up. Undo that screw. Okay. And then we'll undo the other screw on this side. Same thing, lifting the logic board up. Okay. Now, let's see, how can we get this one out? Because this side doesn't lift as high. So let's see, can we somehow pull this out as well? Let's see. So, carefully lift it. Pull it back. I'm going to use the tweezers here to help pull this out. Let's pull this. I'm pulling the heatsink down over this way to lift it past these parts that protrude out there, and I think we should be able to, come on. Okay, we got half, there we go. Alright, so now we got both of them out. This one actually is cleaner than the other one, because I was cleaning it out earlier. But there's still a lot of gunk in there that we need to kind of clean off of it. This one doesn't look burnt like the other one, so if it still doesn't work, then yeah, he must have fried the circuit. Oh, there's some gunk on the top on this side. Okay. The pins themselves look okay. Okay. But you never know, it could have fried something more internal that you can't see with the naked eye. Let me try using this thing. I'm going to use this and try and blow any like dust or air and stuff out of it. Looks like there's some gunk in there. Okay, so maybe this is completely toast. Does this separate? I don't think so. No. Okay, let me try blowing out this side. Can also try using a toothbrush here. Okay. Alright, the connector itself looks okay, but I don't know. Again, there could be something going on internally inside this portion. But anyways, let's go ahead and try putting this back together and see if we have any luck. Pull that back up. This side will go down in first, and then we gotta squeeze these back in. There we go. Get that back into place. Alright, as you can see, we got that in. Let me get a USB-C device to plug in here. That way we can kind of use that to align it. Actually, I don't want to use that one. Let's use this tiny thing. Okay, so we'll use this USB-C thing, and we can use that to kind of help guide it. We are going to have to hold this into place. So hold that connector into place. I'm holding it by both of the screw mounts holes, and then push that. Okay, now that we got that, I can use this to kind of help hold and wiggle that into place. We're going to get the T5 or Torx 5 screws, and we're going to tighten them in. Alright, so get that in, lift the board up. Okay, this is kind of a shortcut that I'm doing because we don't want to have to take the entire motherboard logic board out just to pull these out. At least one slightly nice thing about this design is if the USB-C port is the culprit and you have replacements of it, you can technically just fold this back and then get another one and plug it on top to test. Alright, without having to pull the entire thing apart. Alright, so we got that screwed back into place. Let's go ahead and get the other one here, same thing. pull the logic board up, get this with the front end in first, like that, and then get these two screw mount holes underneath the logic board and flip it down. Okay, same thing, pull this back out. We'll use the tweezers again to hold the two screw holes in place. And while we're holding that, let's plug this in. There we go. Alright, let's get these two screws in. You do have to pull the logic board up to get them in. Okay, pull that up. Okay, I'm pulling the USB-C port back as I tighten these screws down to make sure that it's pushed all the way to the outer edge of the case. Perfect. All right, we're gonna go ahead and get all of this stuff reconnected down. So line it up and click it down. You might have to push it over that way since we flipped it up a little bit. Okay, get that in, good. Okay, get that all in. All right, get this part in. Line it up. Click that down, line this up. Click that down, good. All right, looks like there's not much support under there. Okay, so we're gonna get this screw back in. Very long, wide one. Oh, make sure we're using the right. This is T5. Does it need a bigger? Why is it like skipping? Let's try T6. Okay, this is actually a T6 screw. Alright, somehow my T5 screw was able to remove it. Then we'll get this one in. Okay, tighten that down. There we go. Alright, make sure all of these are pushed down all the way. This one's not, it's coming out. Okay, click that in. Perfect. Alright, make sure to get this cable in. Okay, click them all in. Get this cable in. Hopefully you guys are able to see all the stuff. I do have videos showing like better views on these kinds of cables, not specifically this MacBook model, but same exact idea. All right, we'll get this cable in. Okay, we're going to switch over to the 4.0 of this hex thing. Get this back in. Okay. This one is usually not easy to put back actually using the hex screw. So what we're going to do, I think we were using the T3, right? So using the T3 or Torx 3, we're going to take the screw that was going into it, and we're going to screw that into the hex thing. Okay, so get that into the hex instead. And then we'll use this to screw this down. Okay, just like that. And actually have it in crooked, so we'll take this back out. After you get it in slightly, you can now switch over to this, and you can do that to tighten it all the way in. Perfect. We're now done with that. We'll set that aside. We'll switch back over to the T3 or Torx 3, and we'll get this metal bracket back on top here. And then we'll get both those screws back in. Okay, so this one in first. Loosely fit it. Don't tighten it all the way down yet, because you want to make sure everything lines up. Okay, Now we can go ahead and tighten this down and tighten this down. Good, perfect. All right, what else we got? Oh, give me a second, I'll be back. All right, let's go ahead and see what else we got. That. Okay, let's get this little plate back in. So you have this one. And all these screws, you would just loosely fit one first and then tighten the next one down. All right. There we go. Now we got this bar that has 3 that go across. I'll get that in. Line it up, in. Okay, get this one, line that up, get that in. This one, get that in. Okay, so we'll tighten the middle one first. Go ahead and tighten the outer ones. Okay, double check that you tighten that in. Good. All right, now we got these 2 little bars. One, loosely fit it. And this one. Okay, tighten that down and tighten that down. All right, then we've got this one. Okay, that one. Again, we're just loosely fitting it first. And this one. Alright, tighten that all the way. Right, we don't need this anymore, so let's pull that USB-C thing out. Alright, now we're going to switch back to the T5 or Torx 5. We're going to put these 2 screws back in that we took out, that were holding the logic board. This one. And the last one here. Okay, now that we got that, we're gonna now reconnect the battery stuff and hope for the best. Okay, so we're gonna flip this back over. We have the T5, Torx 5, this big round one, holding this metal plate down. We're gonna get that screw back in. Okay, tighten that down. Then of course we need to get this little cable back into place. If you break any of those, this little cable or that latch, you're not going to be able to use your MacBook anymore. It's not going to hold charge. It's not going to take charge. So you want to be very careful with those. I mean, be very careful with all of it. Right? Slide your finger over that latch, put that tape back down. Then we got this piece, get that back in. Click that back down. Switch back over to the T3 or Torx 3 screwdriver. Get this thing back in. Okay. Get the other one. And then tighten these down. Alright, there we go. Now we just got to get the bottom cover back on and then power it up. To power this on, you do need to plug the charger back in. I think USB-C also works, but the problem is these USB-C ports might be dead. So I'm going to have to see, hopefully my customer brought their charger because I don't have one of these newer chargers. Alright, we're going to grab this cover. You want to line up these side edges And then what we're gonna do, we gotta slide this back end in first, and that's because you have these little latches that hook into the ventilation here. Okay, so slide that up, hold this down, slide that up. You wanna make sure that it's completely flat on the sides, or all the way back here. Then we can click that, and then we just gotta get all these last few screws back in, and that's pretty much all there is to it. Hopefully this video helped you guys out. I didn't take anything else out because there's not really anything you can do inside this other than removing the screws to lift things out, but I wasn't going to be doing any of that. So yeah, we'll see what's going on here. But hopefully this video will help you to replace the USB-C charge ports if those somehow got damaged. Alright, if this video helped you out, again, please make sure to like, comment, subscribe, share my channel with others so that they can learn how to upgrade and repair their devices as well. If it helped you save a bunch of money, again, please consider contributing a little to the channel. Every little bit helps and allows me to continue making these videos for a living. And if you can't help out that way, it would help a lot if you could watch a few of my other videos and then like and comment on those as well, because that's what the algorithm likes to see. But yeah, other than that, let's flip this thing back over and power it up and see what we got. All right. Okay, again, it's not going to do anything till we plug it in. So let's go ahead and try the regular USB-C if it will power it up. And it's clicking, so that's good news. It let me power up the MacBook using the USB-C. Is it going to let it charge the MacBook using the USB-C? That's one thing. And then is it going to let me, let's see. I can't tell if it's charging. I think the Mac, like, it requires, yeah. That's stupid. I hate this new Mac design. Like, when you plug stuff in, like, you can't even tell if it's working until you get everything logged in. So it's a dumb Mac design. I'm pretty sure they did that on purpose, so you would think things are broken. We're gonna try plugging this in and see if the lights come on. And no, this does not come on. This one's on. Oh, and now it's off. Oh, and now it's blinking. Yeah, I think the thing is completely fried. We're gonna try plugging it upside down. Nope. And this one. Nope. This one like turns on for a little bit and then it starts flickering, so I don't know. Let's see if the customer signs in, if there's any change. But yeah, other than that, that's pretty much it. Let me have them sign in and we'll do a little more testing. See you guys in a bit. Okay, so one of the ports, if I plug in with USB-C, I can charge it. What if I flip it upside down? It doesn't work when it's upside down. What about this one? Nope. And this one. If they're lucky, we can probably get replacement USB-C ports and it might work. But other than that, it looks like it's only working upside down in one orientation. And yeah, I think it's not even working fully that way. The customer was asking if I could see if it can charge a device. So what I'm going to do, let's try plugging in a USB-C here. And let's see if it can charge this. It's at 100%. Let me grab another one real quick. I'll be back. All right, let's give this one a try. I think this isn't at 100%. It's 67. And it shows. It keeps going on and off, see? So it's not a solid connection. All right, let's try and flip it upside down and try it this way. Nope, same thing, it's having issues. Let's try this one. It's also on and off. And this one does nothing. Yeah, so USB-C ports are toast. Again, I don't know if getting replacement USB-C ports will work. We'll have to see if the customer wants to do that. They said they can get a replacement of the whole computer from the work, so I think we're gonna stop there. Hopefully this video helped. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you on the next one. All right, let's drop this. Bye.